So I'm making a sausage soup, and I want to put my fan on, so I'm not going to make you watch me brown this, but I'm starting to brown it. And I'm going to turn that off and I'll be back. So, no lighter fan doesn't work well for the camera. So I realized partway through browning, and it's just about brown, I think you can see, it's chorizo sausage, bulk chorizo sausage from Copacut Farm. They used to be at the Wakefield Farmers Market that I used to manage. They are no longer, but I do sometimes buy stuff from them because I like to support all my farmers, even the former ones. This is raw stuff. Close enough to 10 seconds. I'm ServSafe certified, but obviously I am not always certified. ServSafe here, hair and all, but I'm just cooking for me and my hubby. Okay, so, well, we'll just have to be dark. I'm going to add onions and some pepper. And up to there, I've been following the recipe, except it called for Italian sausage. So I'm doing it was going to be Sicilian sausage soup, but by Peg Donaher, I got it from her on the Simply Homemade in New England Facebook page. Thank you, Peg. I will make your version eventually, but I didn't have any loose Italian sausage, and I didn't want to break up those that were in the casing because I like to use those in the casing. So I have 3 packs of chorizo. So, although the recipe calls for a pound, I have about 0.85 of a pound here. That's why I cooked the beans. I figured I'd supplement with beans. Okay, so I'm cooking down I don't know if you can see. All I know is when I put this light on, it seems to get too bright. But anyway, cooking this down till the onions get soft. And in the meantime, I'm going to blast that. I pre-prepped. I actually do prep everything before I cook, even when I'm not videoing. So I'll have my thing of onions, thing of peppers, the tomatoes open. I haven't chopped kale yet, but I will do that. Okay, so I'm going to cook this till the onions get a little soft. And what's next? Tomato broth. Oh, shit. A quart of chicken broth. Okay, well, I have some. And I think I'll use, I think store-bought. I think I have some store-bought, I hope. Oh, I guess I should have turned you off, huh? Oh, no. Okay, well, this is going on hold. I wasn't planning to video, so I need chicken broth, but you know what? I have some. I just have to defrost it. And I'll turn this off for a moment and turn off the camera for a moment, and I'll be back. Never mind. I have some Swanson organic chicken broth. I have plenty in my fridge. Well, not a ton. I have some in my fridge, too. I have some duck stock I need to use one of these times. Okay. So, back to... Come on. Letting this cook. Okay, what's next? Pepper. Add tomatoes, broth, and basil. Okay, so it's just to break up the tomatoes. So I did wash my hands. Let me wash my hand. Well, wash me up. Just equipment. You don't need to like wear gloves, and you can touch things with your bare hands. Oops, you shouldn't be touching your face, but I'm at home. So I'm going to break up the tomatoes. These are whole Italian peeled tomatoes. And the best way to break them up, in my opinion, is to go like this carefully so you don't squirt stuff everywhere. Do it gently. And unlike me, wear an apron when you do this, because it can, kind of like cherry tomatoes, they can kind of squirt. You can do this with scissors too, I guess. I have wicked arthritis in my hands, so this hurts, but it's got to be good therapy if it hurts, right? Okay. Broken up enough. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Now, what am I doing? Adding tomatoes, broth, and basil. Use a spatula to get all the sauce out. I need a better camera setup. I know when this is on, it's too bright. For you guys, not for me. Do a quick rinse so you don't get stuffy. Dried on stuff. Chicken broth. It's gonna make a lot of soup. A whole quart, huh? Quart. Just be careful pouring out of these too. They can bubble and squirt on you. Okay. Smells pretty good. Forget why I got that. I usually, well, no, I guess someone said it was good. Who knows? I don't remember. Luckily, I had it. Teaspoon of basil. Now, this has basil in it. Okay. Shh. I'm filming. Here, I have to put you on hold. My husband's coming by. Coming through. Okay, how bad does this look with this light on? I tried it another time. It just seemed too bright, but it is nice for me to see. Let's see. Okay, I don't have to cook in the dark. I did a test. So far, I have browned the chorizo sausage from Kopka Farm. I also get a lot of meat from Lilac Hedge Farm, too. Both wonderful sources. Onions. The onion was from Farmer Dave. The pepper was organic from somewhere. I don't know where. Chicken broth and tomatoes. Okay, I don't need that anymore. I know, well, I should be talking, being on board, but I just always like to wash things out right after I use them. So even if I don't do the dishes right after or as I'm cooking, at least they won't have dried on crud on them. So, Mom, thank you. She taught me. My mom taught me well. Okay, this is going to compost. Yay. Okay. Now, bring to a boil and stir in the orzo. It's going to be orzo in here. Oh, it calls for basil, but with the chorizo sausage, I don't think I'm going to need it. And there's basil in the, whatchamacallit. So I'm also going to use up some leftover cabbage and carrot shredded that I had I bought pre-shredded coleslaw to use in a mushu pork dish, and I didn't use it all. So, why not? So I'm going to let the veggies cook down a little bit before I, whatever they say. What's next? Orzo, 3/4 cup of orzo. I'm kind of fudging it on amounts of other things, but I figure I'll stick with this amount because this is what's called for the amount of liquid that the recipe called for. I don't want to mess around too much, you know? Whole wheat orzo, delalo. 3/4 cup. Close enough? I almost feel like throwing it all in, but yeah, it was a little over. Actually, we've got something. Well, one serving of soup sometime. Yeah, it's about maybe speck more. Okay. Okay. So now we're just gonna. Whoa! I almost slipped myself with a spoon. Gotta be careful. So I'm just gonna let this cook for a little bit, and then I'll do that. Okay, this is very close to coming to a boil, so that will be ready for the orzo, but I just remembered, it's kind of boring, there's no color, so I'm going to put some kale in. So, let's just take a sec. I need to get a camera over here. You can see my amazing technique. Oh boy, I made everything ring. No sense cooking if you don't have fun doing it. Okay, throw that in. Compost. Not washed, but rinsed. Okay, what are we doing here? Well, I gotta remember to stir in the kale a little bit. That won't take long. Kale cooks down. Not as quickly as spinach, but ooh, it's already. Look how bright green it already is. Well, maybe I should have put more in. Well, when I season it, maybe I'll need parsley. That will give some more green. But at least it's adding a touch of green color. I have no idea what it's going to taste like, you know. I've never had Coopercut's chorizo sausage, so there's a factor. Okay, and before I do the orzo, the one other thing I'm going to do is, remember the, I don't know if I put the video up about the beans. Look kind of silly, but, you know, I look silly now too, so what's the difference? Okay, I'm going to put, I don't know, to make up for the quarter pound of, or whatever. I have a little less meat than called for. Yeah, can't hurt to have a few. I'll put maybe, I don't know, 2/3 cups of beans in there. Those have only been cooling down for under an hour. I will be getting them into the refrigerator soon. Maybe a little ice bath, cool them down to safe temperature. That's one thing I do. I'm ServSafe certified. I'm not, you know, I don't always wear the gloves and the hair. I'm just cooking for Steve and I, but I am very careful about keeping food at safe temperatures. That's for sure. I'll talk about that another time. So, actually, here, I don't know if I dare do this. Oh no, I have the phone plugged in for charging. I was going to bring it over, but whatever. Okay, I'm going to boil. Quick. Well, it's making noise, but it's not quite to a boil. It says bring to a boil and stir in the orzo. I think I better wait for it to boil. Oh, it's so close. One thing I do sometimes, just for fun, to see how close I am to the boil, is check with a thermometer. ThermoWorks, see this? Buy a couple of them. They're like $15 or something. They're waterproof. If you drop them in the dish pan, no problem. It's great. How close am I to boiling? Well, it's bubbling on one side, but only 174. Oh, come on. Really? Only at 185. It's bubbling, and it's only at 185. Come on. Okay, I know it's getting boring. What else can we talk about? Oh, let me get rid of that. I have no idea if I'll ever even put this up. I'm just kind of experimenting. Oh, come on. Wow. It's really taking a while. It's at 189. But you know what? It's bubbling, so who cares? Here goes the orzo. It says, to reduce heat, softly boil, and then 10 minutes. Okay. So, I'm at a soft boil, so I won't bring it any higher. Got the timer on, and I'm not going to make you watch me for 10 minutes, so I'll be back. Okay, I think I'm going to finish up here. Okay, I just tasted it, and it tastes really good. I am going to add some basil, after all. Do that right now. Oh, my hands are wet. Hate trying to do spices with a wet pan, because I usually use my hands. It's going to be cooked to over 165 degrees, so that's okay. Meanwhile, I'm cooling down my beans. I just added about another quarter cup, so for a total of a cup of beans. Do a little ice bath, get that down to 70 degrees, and then put it in the fridge. I'm going to put about a teaspoon of basil to start. Pepper. We are filming, Steve. Steve! Okay, well, Steve's singing, if you can hear that. That, and it needs a pinch of salt. Pop it, and I bet it will be just fine. Let's try. Diverted. I can do this. I'm cooking at home. Yep. I'd say it's done. So here it is. I'm going to bring you over and show it to you. I'll say bye for now. I'll be here, but I'll be behind the camera. Okay. Take my whole tripod. Hopefully it won't fall into the... I'm holding on to it. And there it is. Yum. Here. I'll even stir it. Look at that. Ooh. Objects may be closer than... Actually, in this case, it's further than... I can't tell how far it is. Anyway, looks good. I'll put the recipe online one of these days. Whoops. How messy. There. Okay, bye.